Good morning, students. I hope so you are doing well. In the continuation of our chapter, Acids, Bases and Salts, today we are going to discuss about that how are acids and bases tested. Okay, so let's get started. If I give you one unknown substance, let it be X. I give this unknown substance name X and ask you that tell me the nature of this unknown substance, means whether it is acidic in nature or we can say basic in nature, or simply we can say that whether the unknown substance X is your acid or base. So how can you check the nature of this unknown substance? Think about it. Okay, maybe most of the students will say, ma'am, you can check the nature of this unknown substance by tasting it, by simply tasting it. But dear student, hold on. Yes, I agree with you that we can check the nature of this unknown substance by tasting it, which means that if it is sour in taste, then it will be acidic, or we can say it will be acid. And if it is bitter in taste, then it will be your basic in nature, or we can say base. But dear students, we are not safe to test the nature of unknown substance by tasting it, because we have already discussed of different types of acids and bases, which includes your strong acid, strong base, concentrated acid, concentrated base, and we have already learned that these kinds of acids are very reactive and strong in nature. So if we are simply tasting the unknown substance, or it may happen that it will be strong acid or a strong base, then we are in danger. Okay, so this way of knowing or testing the nature of unknown substances fail. And we have to find some another, or we can say alternative or safely way to test the nature of the unknown substance, or we can say nature of X. So let me tell you the alternative way. Here in our chemistry we have lots of chemical substance, and we have one chemical substance, not one, many more. This chemical substance used to test the nature of unknown substance, and these chemical substance are known as indicator. As the name suggests, it normally indicates the nature of unknown substance by two different ways. First way, by changing the color of substance. Okay, and second, by changing the smell of substance. But in your syllabus we are mainly focused upon the indicator or chemical substance, which is used to indicate the nature of the unknown substance by changing the color of substance. So let's start our next subtopic, indicator. So first question come in your mind that what is indicator and how can we define it? Its definition is quite simple, that indicator is a chemical substance which is used to detect the nature of unknown substance by changing the color of it. Okay, so let's take some examples of indicator. First example is your litmus. Litmus is a chemical substance which is extracted, or we can say obtained, from lichen. We have already discussed about the lichen in our previous chapter, which is the symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. Okay, mainly it is used as solution in water, or sometime it will be used by coating on paper. And in our lab we are mainly use this litmus paper to test the nature of unknown substance. Let me show you. We have two color of litmus paper. First one is your red litmus paper and second one is your blue color litmus paper. So now let me discuss about that how they can help us in the detection of nature of a unknown substance. Let I am drawing here my red litmus paper. And this is my blue litmus paper. If your red litmus paper change into blue color like this, then your unknown substance is your base. On the other side, if your blue litmus paper change into red in color, then your unknown substance is acid. Here I am showing only this part change in color because we are going to dip in the solution. Okay, so we are not able to dip whole in the solution with our hand, so only this part has been dipped in the solution. Okay, so that's why this part only show the color changes. If you dip the whole, then whole litmus paper get change in color. So here we can conclude that if we have acid, then it will change blue litmus into red. And if your unknown substance is base, then it will change red litmus into blue. Okay, B for base, B for blue. So you can learn from this way also. A is acid and is quite danger, so it will be red in color, so it will be cause change in red color. And B for base, B for blue. And one thing more, by remember this with the help of my trick. So always remember, you have to focus on the end product or end color change. Don't focus on the starting one. Okay, acid will cause change in red color, base cause change to blue color. Let me show you with the help of figure also. Here we have one figure like this. So this is the unknown substance. If we dip our blue litmus, then it will be changed having red in color, so it will be your acid. So if it is your acid, then it will be changed or it will be turned into blue litmus to red. On the second way, if this unknown substance is base or alkali, then it will be cause red litmus to blue. This is red in nature and it will be changed into color of blue. Okay, so remember this thing, it's quite important that when you have to test the nature of unknown substance in lab, you can use the indicator litmus paper and how it will be show the detection of the nature of acid, nature of substance by showing the color change. So this is all about your litmus paper. We have another indicator also, that is a phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein. This is also one of the indicator or a kind of a chemical substance which is used to detect the nature of unknown substance. So, but there was a difference in their color change. In case of phenolphthalein, if your unknown substance is acid in nature, then it will be remain colorless for the acid one. And if your unknown substance is base, then phenolphthalein change color of substance to pink color. Baby pink color is here. Let me show you in the diagram also. Here we use the phenolphthalein indicator. So in this case, this change into pink, it means it is your base. So let me discuss about this also. Phenolphthalein turns pink in alkali. Pink in alkali means pink in base, but remains colorless in acid. So here we can say that this beaker contain acid and this beaker contain your base. So that's why we have pink in color here and it is colorless. Okay, so these are the one of the common indicator or chemical substance which is used in our lab to testing the nature of unknown substance without tasting it. So this is all about the today topic. In our next class, we are going to discuss about the properties of acid. Thank you and have a nice day.